I know the law, Fiddler. I know the law too well.
Then you ought to know that there ain't no way to beat the law. White folks live by it and niggas die by it.
It's Focus Connect back in the building. And now we got Blueface going off on Kai Cenat, calling him a crybaby and saying that Kai Cenat turned his back on pretty much people he dealt with before he got to the position he in now. But see, the thing that people like Blueface got to understand, the fact that you standing on these street principles, Kai Cenat have to draw the line with you because Kai Cenat is advertiser friendly in just about every area of the world. Kai Cenat hadn't been placed around people like Kevin Hart for no reason. Kai Cenat has not been placed in these circles just for entertainment. Behind the scenes, these people are giving Kai Cenat the game on how to maneuver and what he have to do to reach maximum success and his maximum potential. Because at this point, you have to understand, Kai Cenat is a brand. And the thing that the elites and the people that Kai Cenat signing these big contracts with are looking at the fact that Kai Cenat can make the people follow whatever he's into. Kai Cenat, the things that he's doing as far as being online, staying up, having these marathons in the streamer world for over 24 hours and staying up for 48 hours and different things like that, that's not a thing that the average person can do. And Kai Cenat had to realize on a personal level, what he had accomplished for himself, he really didn't need these brands. Now, he may not have made the amount of millions that they're offering, but I think Kai Cenat being independent, he still would have lived just as much the same comfortable life. See, sometimes people cross over and then the things that they came in the game doing is not fun anymore because they turn it into a job now. See, when Kai Cenat used to could just be goofy and be silly and then just jump up and do what he want to do, that was one thing. But now that Kai Cenat have to appease to these people that he signed to, scale what he's putting out here and make sure he's not being offensive to people in different communities and just as a whole, like he have to think so deep and strategic about everything he does that people like Blueface have to realize Kai Cenat can't deal with you because of you can't be branded. Because of your stance towards the street and because of the way you're saying, okay, I'm not gonna turn my back on the people that came in the game with me. And then if these people that's elites and higher up can scan the people that came with you as being street people and gangbangers, they would automatically let Kai know he can't deal with you because that interaction with you will ultimately raise some red flags in a lot of things that they're trying to promote and that they're trying to bring to the masses. Kai Cenat is not only a face amongst African Americans, Kai Cenat is a face amongst America, on a global scale. So we have to understand that Kai Cenat has risen to a different level than just entertaining black people. And we have to give our people room to grow. But the thing when I look at Kai Cenat, with him having all these episodes of talking about mental health, it leads me to believe Kai Cenat has made some mistakes as far as some of these people that he's got attached to, because before we didn't hear about Kai Cenat having mental issues. We always saw Kai Cenat was happy and we saw that he was in a good place. And when some things I look at, like as far as Kai Cenat even cutting his hair. And I worked at a job before and a guy was telling me like how that affects certain circles, how that affects your branding, how that affects how you're perceived. So when I saw Kai Cenat cut his hair, that conversation came back to me and I'm looking at how Kai Cenat is doing things now that I think he wouldn't have done if it was just left up to him doing it. So at this point, he's being led and he's being controlled to do certain things that I think Kai Cenat really don't agree with, but he signed these contracts and morally he doesn't agree, but due to signing your name on these contracts, you have to fulfill your obligation. And then I look at Kai Cenat going through this stuff with his female and Blueface referring to that. Like, this generation have to wake up and be a little more stronger, man. I'm so tired of the weakness I see in this generation, and it don't have to go back to saying that, you know, just because people are older, we lived in a different time, We have to look at that we are promoting weakness now. We have let a lot of movements infiltrate us as a country, us as the United States of America, not just as being black. We are getting weak as a country, and I think all of these other countries and all of these other ethnicities are seeing how weak we are as Americans. We have to understand, all of this stuff talking about people are hurting my feelings, people are narcissists, all of these words that we were not hearing at first. When I grew up, I never heard these words. So when I look at Kai Cenat having all of this money, having all of this fame, having everything that people are wishing for, people are praying to have a portion of the lifestyle he's willing to lead. And this man is having female issues that's making him weak. This man is having mental breakdowns and mental issues to where he's not even resembling the same person we saw before. It leads me to see and it leads me to understand that money does not buy happiness. Because if you can't be true to who you are as a person, you will never be happy trying to fulfill these roles and obligations that carries a brand or it makes people view you a certain way. You have to be happy within, because I'm seeing too many people out here that have all the money, have the nice houses, the nice cars, and they're not worried about anything financially, and they're not even as happy as the bum on the street that you give $20 and you see a natural smile come across this person's face. So as Americans, we have to realize that we are weak. When you have men getting on the internet, typing in posts saying that I'm single, and all of that stuff is a cry for attention and a cry for help. Some things go through by yourself, get over it by yourself, and come out stronger. Stop attaching your identity to another person. See, when you go through things in life, you have to understand it's just a learning lesson. Stop taking the loss of a relationship so serious. Stop taking the loss of people being in your life or being in your circle so serious. Understand that some people are just around for a season. Some people come into your life just to teach you a lesson and make you stronger. Because once you go through certain lessons in life and once you go through certain situations in life, you will never make those mistakes again because you know how that pain feels. So we have to stop looking at life from a weak perspective. When I look at situations I've been in through my life, whether it was my homeboys or whether it was relationships I've been in, I do not hold those people accountable for what they did, because I look at life as it's spirits traveling through us. And when certain spirits get over people, whether they're going through things in life financially, whether they're going through things in life as far as like the loss of family members, or they're going through things in life as far as their job. Like some people just are not naturally happy. And then when they're in their frame of mind, they are open for a lot of demonic influence to take over them, and they will act in a demonic fashion. People change every day. That's why I don't hold no grudges over nobody who done anything towards me, because a lot of times people do things that affect you, but they really wasn't even thinking about you. People are going and living their life, learning things based on the lessons that they have to learn. Some person may get shot and learn a lesson, when some person may just get yelled at and learn that same lesson. So I look at life in a way that we have to grow. We have to be strong. We have to bring back being strong. Stop allowing people to be weak. I miss my grandmother when I grew up. If you go to my grandmother and tell her, oh, my knee hurt, my grandmother gonna tell you to walk. Work it out. Work it's gonna feel better when you walk. Don't sit there and sit still and let it stiff up. People were giving us information to strengthen us and make us stronger. But now you got everybody pacifying people. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hate you went through that. When every situation don't require that. Teach these people to have strength, be strong, and rely on yourself. And when you can't rely on yourself, you know who to go to that can fulfill whatever you can't do. God is going to place these people around you in your life. I just look at what's going on in society, and we have to become stronger as people, because this showing all of this weakness, I don't think this is good at all for the generation that's coming behind us. And I most definitely don't think it's good because other countries and other leaderships in other places are studying us, and they can see how weak we are and the things that we are accepting in this country. We have to do better. I'm out.